someone betrays your trust or disrespects you, suddenly a single thought takes residence in your mind, replaying every night. One day, they'll pay for this. At first, this fantasy feels justified. Imagining their downfall provides a tiny, almost addictive burst of relief that makes the anger feel productive. Your brain treats vengeful thoughts as a literal reward, activating neural pathways involved in pleasure and anticipation. This reaction is a leftover survival mechanism from our ancestors. Without formal laws, the drive to retaliate was necessary to protect the tribe. Revenge acted as a deterrent. It signaled to others that betrayal or theft came with a severe physical cost, helping to maintain a fragile social order within the tribe. But the modern world operates differently. In our current reality, this ancient biological software has become a destructive glitch. It pushes us toward a solution that no longer fits the problem. Because we are chemically wired to crave this retaliation, we walk blindly into a trap. We believe that balancing the scales will end our pain, but the biological reality is that it does the opposite. We are often told that getting even is the only way to find closure. We imagine that watching an offender suffer will finally allow us to feel at peace. Psychologists, however, have found that people generally feel worse after carrying out revenge. The act of retaliation doesn't close the chapter, it keeps the book open. This is rumination. The brain becomes stuck in a loop, repeatedly replaying the injustice. Your body reacts as if it's happening now. Stress hormones rise because your physiology cannot distinguish between a memory and a current threat. You eventually reach a state where your happiness is tied directly to the offender's life. You convince yourself you can only be okay once they regret their actions or face karma. Waiting for their downfall allows the person who hurt you to dictate your mental state, deciding if you have a good day. Even if they are long gone, their presence still controls you. This happens because we confuse justice with revenge. Justice is a search for a fair, objective outcome. Revenge is simply a pursuit of emotional satisfaction, the desire to make them feel what you felt. Decisions made during these emotional storms are unreliable. Anger distorts our perspective, leading to impulsive actions that often result in more regret than relief. We cling to the false promise that their suffering is a prerequisite for our recovery. But the offender can lose everything, their status, their wealth, even offering a sincere apology, and you may still feel completely broken. Their loss does not automatically rebuild what you lost. Healing is an internal process, a biological shift, and a psychological growth that cannot be triggered by someone else's pain. When we chase emotional revenge instead of true justice, we stay trapped in a battle that ended years ago. We mistake this cycle of prolonged suffering for a show of strength. If revenge is a trap, and suppressing the anger only causes it to fester, we are left with a difficult stalemate. Moving forward requires a deliberate pivot in how we process what happened. That pivot is acceptance. This isn't about liking or excusing what happened. It is the grueling work of acknowledging the reality of the betrayal so that you can stop fighting against a past that cannot be changed. The desire for revenge is like holding a burning coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. The longer you hold on to it, waiting for the perfect moment to strike, the more it sears your own hand. Dropping that coal restores your personal energy. The attention you were spending on their life suddenly becomes available for your own future. You may have to accept that the person who hurt you will never understand your pain. They might never apologize, or even feel a moment of regret for what they did. Waiting for them to change keeps you in a position of powerlessness. Focusing entirely on your own transformation is the only way to reclaim that power. A person becomes powerful the moment the original wound loses its ability to dictate their actions. The most effective response is to build a life so peaceful and fulfilled that the offender no longer has any influence over it.